now have my sugar cookies. This is the students in my classroom, and we're going to want to divide it exactly right. And so one person gets to be the measurer, and the other person gets to pick which they want. If there's any doubt that you have it the same, the best way to do it, using your scale that's in there, turn it on. Make sure it comes up to, you can either do grams or ounces, and it's now on, it says pounds and ounces. And this doesn't weigh much at all, the parchment doesn't, but it is about 1 pound, 4.5 ounces. 1 pound I know is 16 ounces, so that makes it about 20 ounces and 20.5 ounces. So that means 10 ounces and 10.5 would be about right. So let's see how close I can get it. That is 9.5. There's 9.8. Right there, there's 10. 10.6. Let me take a little chunk off of here. 10.3, and this should be about 10.3. Perfect. So that's what I've got. What I'm going to do, I'll turn that off. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to use parchment paper, and I don't know if you've used it at home or not. It's wonderful, especially for baking cookies. I have some pre-cut sheets that fit right into my cookie sheet pan, and then I have some rolls, and these rolls that we'll use two sheets. I'll take two, and we can reuse this parchment paper. It can go in the oven. When you use parchment paper, things won't stick to it. I don't have to use pan spray, and it's easy to clean up my pans, so that's what I want to do. So I'm going to put one of my rolls right here. In making good cutout sugar cookies, you need to have them level, exactly the same thickness all the way through. Some people, there are some bands that you can get for your rolling pins that will make it at certain level. Some people use rubber bands, a number of where you can get your cookie dough consistently the same level. I have these wooden dowels. I got them from Home Depot, had them cut them specifically for me. I brought them to my kitchen and I wash them. I have different sizes. If I want a really, really thick cookie, I use this larger one. I have a size in between, and then I have this small size, and we're going to do the small size today. So I put it on either side of my cookie dough. I'm going to lay my parchment paper on top, and I use my rolling pin, and I make sure my rolling pin hits both of the dowels underneath, and I'm sort of going to carefully press and get the cookie dough to where I can roll, and this will keep me from getting it too thin. If I roll my cookie dough too thin and I put it in the oven, parts of it are going to burn while the other parts don't get done. So as simple as this, I have a disc that is just perfect. It's all the same right there. And I'm going to, using a biscuit cutter, it has scalloped edges, I'm going to do a little press down and twist. If I need it, if it starts sticking a little bit, I'm going to put it in some flour, press down and twist. Let's see, press down and twist, press down and twist. Let me get one more on here, press down and twist. As I said, I'm using parchment on my cookie sheet, and I'm very carefully going to place these. The recipe says about 2 inches apart. What I have found, our cookies are not as thick as the cookies that would often be made for cutout cookies, or for the kind that you put a stick in as a cookie on a stick that you can make a cookie bouquet out. Some of you have seen the edible bouquets. But I'm rolling this up. The extra flour is going to be fine. That's not a problem. If I've had a chance to put this dough in the refrigerator, it would be stiffer and wouldn't stretch on me as much. But I don't have that kind of time. I'm going to take my extra dough, roll it up, and since I'm just one person, I'm going to incorporate more the other dough with it. I am going to put my 2 dowels right there. I'm going to press down. I'm going to use my rolling pin and roll it back out. Your best bet would be to do this on your table, and that's why your table needs to be wiped down very well with Clorox wipes before you start doing this. Okay. Here's another. I now have a disc that's all the same thickness, and so my cookies are going to come out great for decorating. I try to get just as many as I can. You see, it's getting pretty soft. Right now, I'm going to put these in the oven. Only one tray needs to go in the oven at one time, because if you put too much in, the air won't circulate right. If I have a different kind of oven like they have in some of the restaurants, the hot air blows and blows all around, so you can jam pack that oven full and everything will cook just normal. Matter of fact, it cooks quicker than normal and at a less temperature than normal. But for our oven purposes, we are going to put one pan in, and I want it put in the same way as the oven is shaped. Don't put it in end to end like that, because that will cut some of the circulation. Put it in this way in the middle of the top rack, and the air will circulate around and they'll get done. These will be done in about 12 minutes. If you look in there, if it's a little shiny on top still, and it doesn't look like it's done, then add another minute to the timer. But watch it carefully. We don't want them to brown. The cookies that I have made, these are very solid, and you see that it's not brown at all, but they're done. They're hard, they're firm, they won't break. So that's what we're doing now.